Welcome to Web Handling. My name is Dave Roisum. I am very excited to continue our tour of web handling tools with an extremely useful troubleshooter, a high-speed camera. Unfortunately, the word speed in photography can mean many different things. We are not going to discuss the exposure triangle here because that would take hours. Instead, we will just define the three interrelated factors that all go by the name of speed. These apply to both still and movie cameras. The first is film speed or sensitivity. It is measured in ISO and varies from around a detail capturing 50 to an almost unusably noisy 25,000. The second is lens opening or aperture. Strangely, a small opening has a large number and vice versa. In any case, a big piece of glass on the front end can, of course, gather more light, but this comes at several costs, not the least of which is price. A big lens is sometimes called a fast lens. Finally, there is an exposure time governed by the shutter that tells how long the sensor is exposed to light. Again, we have a misnomer because the speed of mechanical shutters is always precisely the same. Only the distance between the front and rear curtains change. In any case, the shutter could be opened from far less than 1/1000th of a second to many hours, such as capturing faint telescopic objects in the night sky. It is this last factor, shutter speed, that will be the focus of this clip. The most important factor for use in industrial event capturing is frame rate. This cannot be faster than the shutter opening time previously described. It needs to be high enough to freeze motion or capture high speed or short duration events. High frame rate is just one necessary but not sufficient ingredient. You also must have a combination of extremely bright diffuse lighting and very sensitive camera sensors, else you won't get enough light to register as anything beyond nearly black. To cut to the chase, as they say, the ranges of frames per second of movie cameras varies. For nearly 1 century, the frame rate of home movies, webcams, security cameras, and Hollywood have remained essentially unchanged, about 30 frames per second. This is seldom fast enough for industrial event troubleshooting. The new iPhone is a bit faster, but not so easy to work with in a machine environment. What is nice compromise between affordable and capable is a sports camera. Specifically, the new Black Edition GoPro Hero 4 boasts 240 frames per second. Of course, if you have the need and money, you could get a true high-speed camera that can capture thousands of frames per second. Shown here is an earlier, slower model of the GoPro that I use for my helmeted hobbies such as whitewater kayaking, motorcycling, and other sports. The new model is nearly identical in all respects except for frame rate. This camera is affordable, compact, durable, simple to use, and very versatile. There's a whole cottage industry serving and using this camera. Still, it does have a very limited record time so that you cannot leave it overnight. Instead, it is much better suited for short, temporary studies. There are so many events that are much too fast to see with our eyes, even when we are looking. There are so many events that are rare enough that staring for hours waiting for it to happen can be a waste of time. There are so many places where you might want to see that would be dangerous to be. For all of these reasons, a compact, unblinking, high-speed camera is indispensable. Because they are cheap, why not buy 2, or even 2 dozen? Thank you so very much for watching this module in my Plant Practical video clips. Stay tuned for more must-have web handling tools.